Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome back. JR here with the continuation of our of our Life is Strange franchise tier list. Um, so we are currently on here we are. We are currently with this many characters out the way so far, and we still got these couple of characters left. So, what I am what I am thinking of doing for this is uh, I am thinking that because last time we finished off we ranked. Oh no, oh no, we did. Wait, why wasn't she on the? Let me double check that. Yeah, I did. Okay. I knew I was missing something. There we go. I knew somebody was missing from the top of this thing. Because usually when anytime I finish an episode, for this tier list, I have to take a picture because the saving trying to save my progress is a little weird. Uh, so so when I do so anytime I'm gonna go back to these rankings, I have to put everything back uh in the spots that they were in. So when I end the video, I always take a picture of like, okay, what does the list look like? So that way when I'm getting ready to start the next video, I can make sure where everyone was placed, and then we go from there. But in any case, we got uh, we did we started off big in the last episode because we did Alex. So we pretty much went down. We went down dear old Alex here, and we got her. So we ranked her. Went down her positives, her negatives. Uh, yet again the We went over her Mary her Mary Sue label that some people categorize her under early on, and how that is kind of misleading, and how Deck Nine could have uh made those uh comparisons uh hold less weight by tweaking some things and rearranging certain aspects of the game uh, that is mostly in the back half with Alex's flashbacks, and take some of those and put a couple of those in some of the earlier episodes, so that way you get a little bit more of Alex's like trauma and flaw and some of her flaws a little bit more, so that way that way she'll come off a lot less of a Mary Sue, like like some people would label her as. I don't consider herself that, especially by the end of the game. Like if you go through the whole game and you still think she's a Mary Sue, I don't know how well you were paying attention in the game at all. So yeah, that is definitely a thing. Oh, and also a little tidbit with the end of with the ending of the ending of True Colors, if you decide to romance either Steph or hey, how's it going, Try? Uh, I ooh, excuse me. A little bit of a doing good, doing good, doing good. Definitely feeling a lot better. I almost pretty much finished up like almost all the medicine at this point. So, speaking of which, uh, hold on, give me 1 second. Whew. Uh, uh, don't you just hate when you're getting when you got like a bottle of medicine and you're getting close to the end of the bottle, and that's where it's like the strongest, and that taste just hits you and smacks you, and it's like, oh, that is just mm, disgusting. Ah, oh yeah. But in any case, um, uh, a little bit of a note, as I said at the end of True Colors, if you romance Steph or Ryan, uh, they both suffer the same problem of if you romance one or the other, then uh, if you decide to leave or you decide to stay or whatnot, the opposite person just kind of disappears and like uh in Steph's case, if you don't romance her and I believe if you decide to stay in Haven or whatnot, then Steph just ups and leaves. Like just like Ryan, she gets there's like no cutscene or anything really to show her leaving or anything like that. It's like, oh, she just poofs and leaves. So, yeah, yet again, whoever the opposite, whoever the relationship, the person whose relationship you didn't go with, really got the shaft at the end of True Colors. So definitely would have preferred. Uh, well, well, if you remember, try Steph does have a plan at towards the end of the game that she is gonna leave Haven. So so if you don't romance her, then Steph is gonna leave no matter what anyway. So so the only way she stays is if Alex uh stays. Well, if Alex romances her and then she stays. But in any case, what we are going to do is, since we did Alex last time, and then we knocked out some of the comic book characters last time. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Try like with Ryan, all he gets is uh, let me see, where's his cutscene? Because all he gets is, where is it? Uh, is it before yeah. Yeah, this is literally his only cutscene. It's literally this. Sad face on the roof of the Black Lantern, all alone, and that's it. And then we cut to the bus stop where everyone else comes out to say goodbye to Alex and Steph, but Ryan is just standing on the rooftop of the Black Lantern, just sad and crying. And it's like, bro, you couldn't have him with everyone else here. Like, why is he the only one that's left out? It's so weird. But yeah, very sad for Ryan. Ryan very sad. Um so what we're gonna do is, since we finished Alex and then we ranked three of the four members of the High Seas band from the comics, we should wrap up some of the characters, well, the rest of the characters from the True Colors sequel comic, Forget Me Not. So that would be Lily down here, her mom, and her dad. So we'll rank these three, and then I will think of which character we will do next. Cause and for a nice for a nice visual aid, I do have the comics right here. So let's load up Forget Me Not, just like this, and let's scroll through this a little bit, shall we? Come on. Why don't you want to turn pages? What is the issue now? Come on. I need to load you back in again. There we go. Okay, now you want to work. Okay, that's weird. Huh. When I do the panel layout, it doesn't want to move. That is so weird. But it wants to move when I do this. Huh. Well, that's odd. But in any case, with a tradition that started with the original Life is Strange comic, every Life is Strange expanded universe material, including Forget Me Not like you see here, and including the novels, they always begin, before the main story begins, they always open with a little bit of a background on what choices they are using to springboard the story off of with each story. So that way you're where the baseline of the story is going to be coming from. So every one of the expanded Life is Strange universe stuff has them. So each of the novels has a little briefing page, and Forget Me Not has their briefing page here. And as a little bit of a primer, I will just read through this little briefing section here. Okay. So, Life is Strange is a world of choices in a multiverse of infinite possibilities. Forget Me Not takes place in a timeline much like the one you know from Life is Strange True Colors, but with certain key differences. In this timeline, for instance, infamous Arcadia Bay residents Rachel Amber and Chloe Price fulfilled their dream to escape to sunny California, and Max Caulfield never returned from Seattle. Here, the future is yet unwritten, and the past is full of surprises. After the death of her mother, Alex Chen was cast adrift in the foster care system, struggling for years with her curse, the ability to sense, absorb, and even manipulate the emotions of other people. With her psychic power of empathy, on leaving foster care, she reconnected with her older brother Gabe in the small town of Haven Springs, Colorado. When Gabe died in a mining accident shortly after her arrival, Alex partnered with Gabe's friends and used her growing supernatural powers to bring the killers to justice. As they brought truth to the light, the truth to light, Alex also grew close to and began dating local radio DJ and drummer Steph Gingrich. As a former resident of Arcadia Bay and student at Blackwell Academy, Steph Gingrich knows Chloe and Rachel. After high school, Steph left for Seattle where she bounced around the punk scene as a drummer. It was whilst on tour with her two-piece band, Drugstore Makeup, that Steph first discovered Haven Springs, and the rest is history. After revealing the truth of Gabe's death, Alex and Steph left town to start their own band, and are now road tripping across the states, trying to build a name for themselves, one dive bar at a time. So see, we got a nice little setup to where this to what the foundation that this story is going to be coming from. So what we are going to do is I do not know why it's doing this. Okay, now it seems to want to work. Okay, I don't know what I did to make it work, but hey, we made it work. So, excuse me. Let me take a little sip. Oh, hold on. Be right All right. So, so here we go. In the beginning, real quick, we got Alex narrating a little bit. So we got Alex on, as always, on her guitar. Are you going to be able to play something for us, Alex, or no? Well, too bad you weren't able to be you weren't packaged with a little guitar for you to play with. Sadly, it would have been nice if they did package her with a little guitar. That would have been nice. Kind of like how the Max plushie comes with a camera. So Max actually comes with her little camera and her little side her little side bag that she keeps around. And at least Alex has her headphones. So at least they gave her the headphones at the very least. So there's that. But in any case, we have Alex playing on the guitar, and then obviously Steph on her drums here. And then I really like uh, how subtly, kind of at first, that Zoe Tharagood and who's the writer of this comic series, and Claudia Leonardi, who continued to do the artwork for the comic, uh, slides in these two as a little silhouetted cameo here. If you could tell who these two are supposed to be. And then we have them, a nice little example of their little performance. And then we got a nice little wide shot of how big the little bar that they're performing at is. So it's like, hey, it's decent, but they got to start somewhere, right? And then you get an even bigger idea of the two guests in the audience. And obviously how upset Steph is because she's putting a lot of pressure on having this band succeed, because she really wants her and Alex to actually be successful with this band, which I believe doesn't get a actual name. The comic did tease a name in the sketches and stuff at the end of the comic. There is a name that they were toying around with, but they didn't wind up actually committing to the name. I don't think the novel actually gave their band a name either. So they kind of leave that up in the air. Oh, and they give you a nice little time frame of this comic taking place at least 6 months after the end of True Colors. So Steph and Alex have been on the road for at least 6 months trying to make a name for themselves. And at least they have two really good friends supporting them, don't they? uh, you have to. Steph has to have her two of her besties supporting her career, don't they? so with Chloe and Rachel uh, coming to support Steph with her with some of her gigs. Um, it's a real nice. It's a very. Uh, it's it's a very organic way to have Rachel and Chloe cameo in this story. Like it's at the very beginning, so the main plot of the comic hasn't really presented itself yet. It's also a really good example of doing fan service correctly, because you could have just thrown Chloe or Rachel, or in this case both of them. You could have just thrown them in without really like putting any thought into, does it even make sense for them to be there, like type of thing. Just throwing them in just because. But Zoe and Claudia definitely uh, thought very well of, okay, if we're gonna have them cameo in the comic, where does it make the most sense within the context of the story to have them show up? And it's like, okay, obviously, Chloe and Steph were at least friends in Before the Storm, and Steph at the very least knew about Rachel and stuff, because Steph was the stage manager for the Tempest play that Rachel was gonna perform in. How much they actually like knew each other is pretty open ended to debate, because unfortunately, one of the downsides of Before the Storm is we never got a actual scene of Rachel and Steph actually interacting. So at least also the comic in this instance is also fulfilling, uh, helping fulfill one of those negatives from Before the Storm, and actually having Rachel and Steph share some time together. Because outside of the comics, Steph and Rachel only really have the one cutscene from well, not cutscene, but the audio cameo from Wavelengths, where Chloe, Steph, and Mikey are playing D&D, and Rachel is pretty much hanging out with Chloe and is kind of like watching them all play and stuff. So outside of that, that's pretty much all you got. So at least the comics help with that. But so there's also, as far as Steph goes, there's also a a moment uh, where they kind of give Steph a little bit of I guess you could say like some trauma and guilt from Arcadia Bay, but it isn't. Uh, it is not her mom dying in the storm though. So where Wavelengths had her mom dying in the storm, if you go with the Chloe's alive choice, then then Steph's mom is one of the casualties of the storm wrecking the town. So for the comic here, they kind of do the same thing with Steph, where she has a lingering trauma from Arcadia Bay, but it's a pretty surprising choice. Um, Also a very bold choice because it involves a character that a lot of fans really like, and I don't think a lot of fans probably would have liked what they ended up doing with that character. But we are going to cross that bridge as we skim through the manga here. I mean the comic here. Uh, but as you can see, we got a fun little interaction here with both with these two couples. So you got Rachel and Chloe and Alex and Steph, all four of them talking. Um, this is also the only time that Alex meets Rachel or Chloe. So other than this comic, there is we don't really have another moment uh, where Alex kind of meets uh, protagonists from previous uh, games. So this is definitely a really good one. So we have this little thing. Um, we also get a nice little Mikey reference, since Steph is mentioning if Chloe ever heard from Mikey. So that's uh, pretty sweet. Um, and then we got and Chloe pretty much saying not really, because she doesn't really talk to a lot of people from Blackwell. Um, and also a little update on what Mikey has been doing from Steph. If you can see, uh, Mikey is trying to be going to school for video game designing. So big ups to Mikey being trying to make a career in video game design. Um, oh, excuse me. Uh, and then you have Chloe talking about the Arcadia Bay Memorial. Uh, so so this is uh very weird because what what this suggests, what this is pretty much confirming for this comic is the storm, the tornado that that is going to hit Arcadia Bay uh, by the end of the original game still hits Arcadia Bay. Um, so the comic, so this comic is pretty much confirming that that oh excuse me, that the storm is uh that the storm is still probably supernatural, but the storm is not a direct consequence of Max's powers. Because if you read the the uh the little preview of where the timeline is and everything that's going on, Max never went back to Arcadia Bay, which means she doesn't reunite with Chloe. She doesn't gain her time powers because here, as far as the comic goes here, oh excuse me, Max doesn't uh, since Max never comes back to go to school in Arcadia Bay, then everything that happens uh, with her pretty much doesn't happen because Chloe and Rachel are gone by then. So so it's kind of weird that the storm still happens, but you know, uh, and then also they're talking uh, about Kate. So so as far as this um, this comic goes, uh, Kate did not survive, which pretty much makes sense because if Max never went back, oh excuse me, went back to Arcade, excuse me, to Arcadia Bay, then then who was gonna save who was gonna save Kate? Because you have the whole cause and effect scenario. Since Max is uh as far as this analogy goes, since she is the cause, the reason that certain effects happen, since we're taking Max out of the equation, then the effect of taking her out would be that Kate actually goes through with the whole excuse me, goes through with the whole with her whole suicide thing, unfortunately. So so that's how that played out here. Um, and then obviously bringing up Chloe bringing up Kate makes Steph very sad, really really sad, because you can see like a little bit of sadness here, and then the aura gets bigger. So we got much more sadness, and then Alex over here uh, is using her power to uh, read Steph's sadness, and then I like how they represented here with very like uh, scratchy writing all around her, with phrases here like uh, if you're able to read, Kate died because of all of us. It's my fault. Why didn't I do anything? She's always there. Why do people keep reminding me of her? I hate her. I wish I could forget her. So a lot of conflicting emotions uh, from Steph in regards to Kate. And also the biggest revelation in this instance is apparently Kate and Steph knew each other. So that's a fun little thing. Uh, and then obviously since Max is feeling uh, Steph's very strong emotions, it's gonna take a toll on Alex. So she's pretty much like, okay, uh, we need to call it a night, and and we got a big drive ahead of us, so we need our sleep, right? And I like how Steph is pretty much like, what? Because Steph has no idea what's going on. But meanwhile, Rachel over here pretty much uh, is very quick on the uptake and is like, okay, clearly Alex is upset about something, so she wants to have private time now. So that's our cue to also leave. So, because obviously Chloe is also just as confused, and she's like, "What?" But yeah, so now we got so now we just got Steph and Rachel and Chloe saying goodbye to each other, and obviously the strong sadness that Alex is feeling. You could see that there is like a lot of tears coming from her eyes. Uh, and Alex obviously uh, and Steph pretty much asking, what's wrong and like stuff like that. And then Steph pretty much turning it into a joke, trying to lighten the mood with being like, "Oh, was it the talk of Chloe and Rachel's apartment in LA and them living together? Are you like jealous of that?" Which is pretty funny. And Alex's response is also kind of a little bit adorable because uh, it also kind of plays into like it's not the main reason that she's sad and upset, but it does dig a little deeper of like, yeah, that there is some of that. So there is a little bit of some jealousy seeing how well uh, Chloe and Rachel's relationship is going. So, uh, and then obviously Steph pretty much nipping it in the bud and being like, "Stop it! Don't be comparing yourself." But and then as always we get our first of many uh first of many little kissy scenes. maybe maybe Triune can use maybe Triune can use one of these forget me not comic panels of Alex and Steph kissing scenes as his new background. As their new background, huh? uh Aha, you heard that. uh but don't worry, try. There's gonna be plenty more panels of Alex and Steph kissing, so you're definitely gonna have a couple of panels to choose from for a background. So in any case, after Steph pretty much plants herself outside the sunroof of their tour bus, um, and pretty much yelling to the high heavens uh, about Steph there. I'm gonna I'm gonna have to play it on PS5 so I could get them in HD smooching. uh, well, there you go. Gives you more motivation to play it again, I guess. um, also, a little uh, side note here. I do love that Alex and Steph's uh, tour bus is a a renovated school bus. That's a nice little touch there. it's already it's already on the list. There you go. And then now the main plot of the comic starts to come into play because what is Alex looking at? It turns out to be we learned the little girl's name in a couple of minutes, but it is but I mentioned her name before. It's Lily. So, and a little hint, a nice visual hint that they have here is if you notice Lily, um, you can see her emotions, and if you see the auras around her, it's pretty much a rainbow because for some reason she is feeling pretty much every emotion at one time. How that is, uh, we will find out in a few. So obviously, Alex and Steph, you know, come up, find out what's going on, what's wrong. Uh, obviously, Steph being the observant one and notices Lily's name tag on her book bag that she's carrying. And obviously Steph wanting to like call the authorities or something because they found a kid barefoot in the middle of the road. She's gonna she's gonna save some some for the rest of us. Okay, but obviously Alex counters with we don't know what the kid's situation is. So if we call authorities, we could be sending the girl back to a less than desirable situation. Let's put it, you know, in those mild terms, because I'm pretty sure the brain can wander with even darker scenarios of what Lily could be running away from. At least, at least happily though, Lily's situation is not that dark. So it's still heavy, but it's not going that far above the really, really dark category. And yet again, another shot of her, all the emotions she's feeling at the same time. and she also doesn't want to talk right now. So since she doesn't want to talk, Alex is like, okay, let me try to read your emotions and see what's going on. So she tries to read them, and she starts seeing all these different glimpses of different emotions with clearly very, very different people, which is which I do like how they visualize it with Alex kind of like falling through like all these different like emotions and memories and stuff. Like she's just falling down this uh like a pit, almost like a mine shaft, you can say. Like she's falling down a mine shaft again. And then Alex finally wakes up because that was a lot of emotion that she literally got um, assaulted with all at once. So that kind of knocked her out. And the girl is still here. And then Alex trying to figure out what's going on, but also trying to figure out what they're gonna do uh, about Lily. But in the meantime, while they figure it out, Steph and Alex are still gonna do uh, their little gigs. So we got one in the park here, and they finally got Lily some shoes because she was barefoot earlier. So they finally got the girl some socks and shoes. So finally, um, and I do like the little touch of Alex giving Lily her jean jacket to try to keep her warm, which is a nice little visual cues. And then now we're just eating some hamburgers after a nice little performance. And then uh, Steph gets a nice text, and it's a text from a talent agency uh, that they agreed to have a meeting with Steph and Alex, so they might get a deal done if the meeting goes well. So that's pretty sweet. And then we got them putting Lily to sleep here, which is yet again more visual storytelling because we have Alex's little little stuffed mouse uh, that she's had since she was a little kid. So she kind of has Lily use it as like a little teddy bear to sleep with. And we also got Ethan's Thanor comics that Ethan drew on the side there. So we can pretty much assume that Lily was reading them at some point. And we got Alex and Steph singing a little bit. Uh, and we got a little bit of insight with with Steph and Kate's relationship, because the song they're listening to reminds her of Kate, and she starts kind of like reminiscing about Kate a little bit. Uh, we will get a we will actually see Kate in a actual flashback when later when Steph starts going into more detail about some specific memories. So um, and and like Alex here trying to trying to cheer Steph up, but unfortunately, it triggers Steph to get angry instead. Uh, Cause which I get Steph. I get Steph being angry, but you also can't blame uh, Alex for um, her statement of kidding around, uh, sounding very dismissive, because Alex never met Kate. She doesn't know Kate, and it's not like Steph is giving Alex a lot of, well, not a lot, but pretty much any any details about Kate and stuff anyway. So um, and then obviously Steph is lashing out because of her regrets and stuff because of Kate. And then pretty much Alex taking the Steph's anger away. But a big thing to keep in mind during this whole like uh, argument between Steph and Alex that this turned into is excuse me, is Steph was is that Alex was the one driving the bus, and if you notice, she hasn't been paying attention to the street. So obviously they're gonna crash into something because Alex is distracted by what Steph is going through, and then Lily being woken up by the arguing and the yelling and stuff. So being distracted by Lily being there, so they end up crashing into something. And then as you see, the next thing Alex uh, remembers is she's awake, uh, standing in front of the doors with dirt all over her hands, and she has no idea what happened. Ooh, actually, uh, hold on real quick. Let me get a refill of my drink real quick. I'll be right back. Hey, hey, I'm back. Oh, and look at hey, hey, Bao, how's it going? Seems to like I just came back right on time to catch you. Hey, don't worry, Bao. You don't have to talk about anything you don't want to. We're just going over trying to go over some of the Life is Strange, Forget Me Not comic book characters, and then decide where I am going to rank them, and then we'll see, where we're gonna what characters we're gonna go with from there. So uh, Alex has the mud on her hand. She has no idea what happened. Meanwhile, Steph is pretty much telling her that like uh, you accidentally hit a rabbit and we just buried it. And Alex is like, wait, what? And then finally, Lily actually speaks for the first time. and pretty much says that she killed the rabbit, which she kind of isn't wrong because, well, she kind of is wrong and not wrong because Alex was distracted while driving pretty much for a while because Steph and her were having a little bit of an argument. So and then Lily got woken up by the argument and then came to the front of the bus and kept Alex distracted. So she kind of is right that she killed the rabbit, and also kind of not right because hey, Alex wasn't paying attention while driving for like a while before you even showed up. So she probably most likely would have hit the rabbit anyway because neither Steph or Alex uh were really paying attention to the road. Unfortunately, good thing they're driving along like back roads and like cross country roads and stuff like that. Because if they were traveling along roads that had like heavy traffic, they would have ran into a bunch of cars a long time ago. Oh wow. Oh wow. What time is it now? You say 12 o'clock. What time is it now for you? But in Oh wow. So you still got about an hour and a half left until you get home. Oof. Well, on the bright side, um, if you're able to if you're able to stick around, hopefully hopefully we can keep you entertained a little bit to make that time move a little quicker. But back to the comic. In any case, uh, this will get this is also where we're finally going to get a reveal about what is going on with Lily. And Alex is very quick on the uptake, though. That uh, I do I do like this really funny moment here because Alex is concerned with the fact that like, oh, Lily has powers, and then all Steph can really cares about is the fact that Lily actually can talk. Ooh, ooh. At least, well, the fact that you got close to beating the third ranked school. Hopefully that means that the team is doing better. I would hope that means the team's doing better. But ah, oh well, at least the at least the loss of points wasn't a very wide gap. So at least there's a bright side in that. But whatchamacallit? So so it's pretty funny that Alex is justifiably more concerned with the fact that like, oh shit, this little girl has superpowers, as opposed to Steph, who is who's more concerned about like, oh shit, you could the little girl can talk. And then now Lily is pretty much going to explain what her powers are, which is very simple power, which is she could take away people's memories, so that way, pretty much that entire memory is like it never happened. Hence the name of the comic, Forget Me Not. So, see, it all ties in. It all ties in together. So that is pretty much what happened with Alex and the bunny rabbit. She is Lily took Alex's memory of the entire bunny rabbit situation, which is why Alex doesn't remember anything from the time uh, since the time of right before they hit the bunny rabbit to the exact moment where she's getting back into the bus. So, but in any case, Alex, wants that memory back, and it's pretty cool how they represent. Well, in this instance, uh, how they represent Lily giving Alex her memories back. So it kind of looks like uh what was it, like cherry blossoms, because you kind of have like little petals and stuff in the background here, because you have a couple of petals here, so kind of reminds me of like fallen cherry blossoms. And then some of the cherry blossoms have like the reflections of pieces of the memory like in them, which is pretty cool because it also links it also foreshadows later where Lily goes into more detail on like when when she started like gaining uh these powers and stuff. So Lily's obviously getting a little upset because Alex is a little uh, shocked, and also pretty much like uh, as she says here, what other memories do you have? So Lily kind of gets a little, justifiably upset because Alex, like, grabbed her and stuff. So a little touchy. Ooh, excuse me. And then pretty much doesn't run like very far. She just pretty much runs over to where they buried the rabbit and pretty much just cries a little bit. Uh, I like how Alex puts the jacket on Lily, and then Steph comes around and puts the headphones on her. So, and then they pretty much uh they both like reassure her because it's like you're not alone because Alex also has powers. So Alex is like, hey, I have powers too. So you're not the only one. So you're not alone in having weird powers. So and then now they gain, Steph and Alex start gaining more information because Lily is pretty much going to explain to them the different powers that uh, the different memories that she has running around in her head. Uh, and pretty much, uh, so in the opening statement here, we already know that her mother at some point does know that Lily has her memory taking powers. But like Lily said, her mother did not know that it's not like Lily is erasing memories, she's taking them. So the memories that she takes, they have to go somewhere. So pretty much they go into Lily. So Lily is having a jumbled mess of all these different people's memories just rolling around in her head, which is crazy because as you can tell, Lily is a very very young girl. Um, I don't they don't really say in the comic how old Lily is, but by her looks, how tall she is, and like stuff like that, I would probably I would probably say maybe around like Daniel or Chris's age. So maybe around like 10 years old, maybe a little younger. But yeah. And then now we get the little backstory here on Lily pretty much saying like how her like powers, um, her using her powers for the first time on a friend of hers because she wanted to take his memories of his dog dying away because her friend was so sad and she wanted him to be happy again. And then you got this very cool representation of his memories, where everyone else is like frozen. So everyone else is frozen in the classroom. So so she's uh so the only people that are like moving in this I guess you could say like memory like bubble that Lily has created is Lily herself, and then whoever she's focusing on taking the memories of. Because clearly, and apparently, he doesn't notice her really. Uh, because nobody notices that she got up from her desk and is pretty much standing in front of him. So, but I like how how the memories of are pretty much like a tree. It's a tree, and the memories are kind of like represented as leaves on a tree. So it's almost like Lily pretty much like figures figures out which which leaf is the memory uh, that she's looking to take away. So she finds it, she takes it, and pretty much just like Alex, just like Alex, since she took the memory, all the emotions and stuff attached to that memory, she also has to deal with, which is why you see her like all of a sudden starting to cry and whatnot now. So, and then now we get to see her mother as far as this flashback goes. And then pretty much by this point, uh, her mother already knows that she has powers, obviously, because now she's talking about maybe Lily, you can use your powers to help people forget really bad memories. So pretty much, you know, her mom pretty much like throws that idea out there, and obviously, you know, Lily being a young kid, you want to like pretty much like uh make your parents proud type of thing, and not let your parents down type of thing. Uh Goes along with that idea, and ends up taking memories from different people that that I would assume her mother is 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 like screening these people in some way, because obviously you would want whoever you're stealing the memories of, well, not stealing, but whoever's memories uh that they want taken, that person is not really bad. But yeah, but now she pretty much Lily's pretty much like she ran away from home, from her mother, because she took too much of people's memories, that it's becoming very like overwhelming. I have no idea. I am not understanding what I don't understand what you're referencing there. Try. Uh, but in any case, now we know this is why Lily ran away from home and everything. And obviously, having this type of oh, okay. I was about to say because that message sounded weird. Oh, okay. No worries, no worries. Um, but yeah, Lily's power of taking away like memories and stuff. Obviously, that is a a heavy power to put on a kid for one, and then having all these memories pretty much rattling around in your head. And also keep in mind too, most of these memories that are being taken from like adult people. So a lot of these like emotions and stuff that go with these memories are definitely the type of things that are not meant for a little kid to be going through, pretty much. So, so this is very, very, like very, uh, bad of a situation for Lily to be in. But lucky for her, it's not a one-way street. Because we, saw her give Alex her memories back with the bunny rabbit, so that works. And then now we have our plot of the main plot of the comic book. Like Alex says to Lily, we're going to get the memories out of you. And obviously, they're going to start with one of the uh, whichever memory is the most bothersome. So they're gonna start from the toughest memory and work their way down. That's pretty much what they're gonna do. And they're gonna work it in with their schedule, with their meeting that they have scheduled coming up. So they're going to work on pretty much finding the people that these memories belong to, so that way they could bring Lily to them and then give them back those memories, so that way Lily doesn't have to deal with them anymore. And also a little, I don't, if you noticed in the back, excuse me, noticed in the background here, behind Steph and Alex. Uh, I believe this is the lesbian flag behind them. So thumbs up for them. Yay. They're representing with their flag in the background. So now Lily starts going into this memory, which is pretty much of a guy who, which I like how it's represented here with all the with like mirrors and broken glass and stuff like that. But uh, what this pretty much boils down to is is the guy was obsessed with this girl that he met online, and uh, he got really obsessed with her to the point where it was like alienating all his friends and all that stuff. So so and obviously, it's a girl you meet online. So if you're like falling for a girl online and stuff like that, especially as far as we're told here, they were really only communicating, I think, through like texting and stuff. So, uh, you don't even know if the girl is real, or even if the girl is real, they're like, uh, in this case, they're very clearly just stringing him along and stuff like that. So it pretty much got to the point that once it became clear that he was never going to be together with this girl online, that he pretty much had the suicidal thoughts and stuff that he was gonna do. So instead of doing that, obviously he met up with Lily somehow, whatever. Most likely his Lily's mom or something probably, talked to him about the thing and arrange a meeting so Lily can take his memories. And that's pretty much how that went. And she's pretty much describing like where, giving Alex clues to where the guy is, where the guy lives, all that stuff. Like obviously we saw earlier that she gave a name and how old the guy was and all that stuff. So in any case, they give him all the memories and stuff. Uh, uh, and then she uh, calms Lily down by taking the emotion to calm her down. And then Lily, you know, she's sleeping. Alex is working on her song. Uh, and then we get our second kiss of the comic book. So uh, yet another yet another one that we can that that Triune can add to his background, so he could have this panel too as a background. So now we get to the comics. We get to where the comic shop. We get to the building where Chris screen shouted. Screenshotted. Yep. I've been counting. That was the second kissing scene. There's a couple of more. So so we are definitely approaching a couple more soon. But we get to the guy, uh, find out where the guy is. We get to where he is. This is the guy's current girlfriend that he's with. So at the very least, at the very least, he uh, he did move in a more positive direction after taking his after having after he had his memory taken. So that is you know uh, a very positive thing. This is also really funny because a really funny joke here because Alex tells her that they have something to return to him personally, and she's looking at Lily, the little girl, and Alex immediately just tells her that that's not it's not that's not where we're returning to him. So a funny little joke of the girlfriend being visually worried that he may have an illegitimate child that she didn't know about. So that's kind of funny. And then we get a little, recap from the girlfriend's end of what happened with everything. Um, Eventually, the guy comes back home, and then we fill him in on what's happening. And obviously, he's going to be very skeptical on, you know, what they tell him, as he rightfully would have every right to be very suspicious about this whole situation. But in any event, his girlfriend convinces him that she believes they're telling the truth and stuff. So that convinces him to take the memories uh, back. And for some reason, they go into the comic shop to have this all done. But in any case, Lily gives him back his memories. Lily is happy because his memories aren't like messing with her anymore now because she gave them back. And in the meantime, you know, he's completely fine now that he has his memories back. So nothing really bad comes from that, which we technically already had a demonstration of when Lily took Alex's memories and then put Alex's memories back. So, and Alex was pretty much fine. So even though this guy's a normal person, he's still pretty much fine. So that all works out. So either way, that all works out. Lily, Alex, and Steph leave, and that is the only time in the comics where in this comic where we have that in depth of a memory breakdown and some character development for whoever the person is that the memory belongs to. This is the only time in the comics where that happens. So any other time, excuse me, any other time that, oh, excuse me again, that they uh bring another person's memories back to them, it's just gonna be like a quick little couple of panels, or it's gonna be in like a montage format. So they're not gonna uh, spend a lot of time on the memory and the person that the memory belongs to, like they just did. Pretty much that whole thing just pretty much gave you a pretty much like breakdown of how the memories work, uh, how the process that Max, Steph, and Lily are gonna go about like finding these people where they're at, how they're gonna like try to convince them to take the memories back and all that stuff. So now that they showed you, they could kind of like pretty much speed run the rest of it because one, the story is only 4 issues long, and this is only I believe this is still like the second issue. So they don't really have a lot of time to spend on every single one of those memories like that. So, which to be fair is one of the uh, criticisms that I do have with the comic is it's a lot of interesting ideas, but not enough time to really flesh all of those ideas out. Um, but Zoe and Claudia uh, pretty much made the best uh, out of what they had to work with. So I can't really complain too much about it. So in any case, as a reward, they get Lily a nice little uh, ice cream, and then now Lily wants to find her dad. So now pretty much Alex and Steph are gonna. Oh, try you. That's fine. You you have a good night. You have a good night's sleep, man. You definitely definitely earned it. So I will definitely catch you. I'll catch you next time. So have a very good night, my friend. Same to you, Try. Same to you. We'll see you soon. But uh, in any case, now they're gonna help Alex. Alex and Steph are gonna help Lily find. excuse me. Find her dad. which is hold on. Oh, okay. But so now they're sleeping on it. Lily and Steph having a nice little bonding moment going on, so that's cool. And then Steph wakes up and she finds Steph and Lily are not in the bus. Instead, they made a little campfire, and Steph and Lily are talking, and she's relaying stories of Kate to Lily, and pretty much venting her emotions and stuff out. Her very like conflicting emotions of like of guilt, hate, and like stuff like she said. And then also, remembering like bad memories and then remembering some of the good memories. See, as they very beautifully like represent here, where the back of her is like sad, and then it kind of bleeds over into turning into like happy memories now. So here she's pretty much explaining that Chloe and Kate kind of knew each other, uh, which, as far as this comic goes, is really fun. And we get like a nice little flashback here. So you have nice little Kate here. We got nice little young Steph here. We got Mikey, and then we have Chloe over here being sneaky with putting plastic dinosaurs on the shelf, which is Chloe's way of teasing Kate about her very religious family, because since her family is very uh, very Christian, she obviously wouldn't believe in like dinosaurs and science and all that stuff, right? For the most part. so for for Chloe to tease her, she pretty much uh, like Steph says here, is pretty much like doing a practical joke where she leaves like little plastic dinosaurs around where Kate can find them and like surprise like Kate, kind of like a jump scare at Kate or something, right? Like leave them there for her to find, and then when she finds them, she's kind of like shocked at like, ooh, surprise type of thing. How she hid one in Kate's book, I will never know. Considering if you ever had like those plastic dinosaurs growing up, like you can't just put those in a book and they just neatly like close the book and be fine. Like you're not going to be able to close a book with those plastic dinosaurs in them. So one of those creative liberties that you take, even though realistically that wouldn't be how that works. Then we get Kate turning it around on Chloe by throwing the dinosaurs in the blender during home ec class, which caused a little gooey plastic explosion all over Chloe. So Kate kind of getting a little bit of like revenge, pretty much. So and then it pretty much turns into a very fun stroll down memory lane to help Steph pretty much cope with those emotions and stuff and whatnot. So very uh, sweet little scene. Uh, yes, it does retread some of the ground that wavelengths pretty much goes over, like I said. Um, but they do, uh, work it in a different way because unlike in wavelengths where potentially Steph is guilt ridden and stuff and sad over deaths that that she couldn't do anything about with her guilt and sadness with Kate here. It's more rooted in the fact of, like she said in a couple of other panels, if you were able to read them, was Kate's situation was something that I could have helped her. And maybe if I tried helping her, I could have helped prevent her from doing uh, the suicide option. So yeah. Um, so I do appreciate their Zoe and Claudia's take on the wavelength thing. Even though, like I said, Kate is a pretty positively um, loved character amongst the Life is Strange fans. So to choosing a scenario where Kate uh, ends up dead is probably uh, is pretty much something that a lot of fans would probably be pretty um, upset about. But for me, uh, I I appreciate uh how they handled it. 'Cause at least if you were going to do it, then at the very least you excuse me. At the very least you did something positive with it at the very least. And you didn't just do it just to do it. At least you did it to pretty much give a little bit more character background and some character development to a couple of different characters at the same time. So I really appreciate that. And very good illustration of Kate by Zoe there. In the meantime, we're in West Virginia here, and then we got another little show for Steph and Alex, and Lily at the same time giving memories back. And now we're just montaging across the country because now we're in Kentucky, crossing off more names off the list. Now we're in Indiana, crossing off more names. And then now we're in Michigan, crossing off more names. And meanwhile, Steph is just very mad at the fact that it doesn't seem like they're attracting really any people to their performances. So so Steph is obviously getting very angry at that, and obviously Lily is getting upset. So Steph like quickly realizes her mistake and starts calming down. And they're still trying to find her dad. So what is this? No. Oh, okay. She's just thinking of a new song in her head, and and now they're actually going to their meeting now. So they go to the meeting, which is called Rhythmic Vibes, the sound of tomorrow. Okay, whatever. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, whatever you say. Ooh, excuse me. So now they gotta wait. Uh, go upstairs and wait for the meeting with the agent lady. It's it's also a funny little note here that It seems like Steph and Alex's version of holding hands is pretty much just having their pinkies crossed together. So in any case, the lady finally comes. Lily waits outside with the lady's kid, pretty much. Um, so now we go inside, and the meeting is first of all going pretty badly, because you can already tell this is going to go very poorly. Is as you can tell uh, from the little statement here, the agency is already starting to completely change Alex and Steph's like pretty much their entire image, their entire like vibe and everything. So pretty much what she starts to uh, go on and on about is trying to change Alex's image into pretty much this, which is uh, very bland and generic because one, uh, she's taking away her glasses, she's dyeing her hair blonde, making her hair long, and Alex doesn't have long hair like that anyway, so I would assume she'd be wearing like a blonde wig or having some very long like hair extensions in the back to make her hair this long, going all the way down uh, down past her butt, and then putting her in a skirt and like all this stuff, like showing a bunch of cleavage and all that stuff. So trying, pretty much trying to like sexualize Max. I mean, not Max, Alex. Pretty much trying to sexualize Alex, which is very bad. And you could tell that Alex rightfully is very uncomfortable by all of this. And to the opposite end, Steph is getting more and more angry at this whole situation. To where obviously Steph blows up and gets very, very pissed off. I do love the I do love Steph's hashtag these nuts line though. But in any event, that uh, obviously is gonna piss off the agent lady, while Alex and Steph joyfully are making a run for it. And Lily with the assist pretty much takes the agent lady's memories of Steph and Alex away. So that way they could make a very clean getaway. And meanwhile, they're still trying to figure out where Lily's dad is. And Alex and Steph are pretty much pondering about that. No kissing scene yet, so we haven't gotten to our third one yet. So they give another memory, cross the last memory off the list, which apparently Lily's celebrates by ripping the list out of the book and tries to eat it. Apparently, so apparently Lily wants to impersonate a dog now. So in any case, after refilling on gas, they finally find the Lily's dad's house, which he is pretty rich. Clearly, he's pretty rich. He has like a nice little house, pretty well off. But very sadly, uh, this meeting doesn't go very smoothly. This meeting sadly does not have a happy ending because, as Lily's dad explains, uh, he was involved in an accident a while ago, and he lost uh, a big chunk of his memories from his accident. So he has very clear like some brain damage, which caused a giant gap in memories. So yeah, he pretty much doesn't remember anything, and and pretty much like isn't really trying very hard to try to remember every anything. Which obviously Lily is gonna get very mad at. Which Alex kind of like goes in there and kept to try to figure out what is really making Lily upset. And here she finds sitting on this pillar is this locked box, which is clearly some repressed memories that Lily is keeping locked away. So obviously Alex trying to open it, and instead is like, okay, I can't open it, so I'm just gonna smash it to open it. And it turns out that the locked box is a music box because you have a little ballerina here, and it turns out to be a memory of her mom and dad when they were together, which is pretty much um, uh, coming down to a very big disagreement on what to do with Lily and her superpowers. Because obviously, because Lily's mom is the more understanding one, and Lily's dad is very clear by a bunch of, if you could read some of his dialogue here, is very mad and concerned about her powers and what she's when she's using them, and is more along the lines of seeing Lily more as a like freak really instead of his actual daughter. So obviously they're both disagreeing about like about how they view Lily, and obviously Lily is overhearing this and ends up getting really upset, and I guess somehow her memory powers also gives her Daniel's telekinetic force pushing powers, because this is pretty much what it is. Like, it pretty much seems like she screams and kind of like force pushes both her mom and dad, like the entire like kitchen area where they were talking and arguing, like away. Which also kind of suggests that 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 memory was most likely where her dad got the probably got the memory accident from, because probably when she force pushed everybody away, her dad probably, when he fell or got like pushed into something, probably hit his head on something uh, and and that's how he had like his big gap of like memory loss and stuff like that. Um, it's not 100% confirmed, but that's the insinuation I get from the flashback and stuff there. Uh, Plus, at the very least, uh, her dad is also being like being a dick in the present day scene, because it's like, okay, why don't you just, like, even if you're skeptical, instead of being such a huge dick about it, about how much denial and stuff that you are showing, where you're just like brushing it off pretty much of not believing it. Just take, like, you, like, clearly he has a bunch of money, so it's like, bro, just get a DNA test. Like, just be like, okay, uh, we'll just do a DNA test, uh, to see if you really are my daughter, and like that's it. So, so could have easily did that. Obviously, Lily very upset, and now she just wants to go home, which leads us to, I believe this is the final issue, um, which is pretty much taking Lily back home, and then, you know, her mom is very happy to see her, and now Steph and Alex pretty much meet her mother, and then her mother and Alex pretty much like talk, and pretty much converse, uh, which pretty much their pretty lengthy conversation pretty much amounts to, also a little bit more of a background on the mom and dad's like relationship and stuff. So pretty much showing how much of a like dick and stuff he was, even back then. So no love lost for him there. But also pretty much uh, confirming that her mom didn't have any ill intentions toward Lily with the whole taking the memories away from people, plan that they had of people coming to them with like bad memories that they want to forget and stuff like that. So but you know, the fact that also Lily said earlier that her mom had no idea that there were like side effects to taking people's memories and stuff. Like I said earlier, those memories have to go somewhere. They're not being like completely erased from existence. They have to go somewhere. So yeah, pretty much. Her mom also pretty much says that, you know, if I would have known that, you know, doing that would cause Lily this much like like pain and trauma and all that stuff, that she would even have done it. But you know, Lily didn't tell her anything because uh, obviously it made her mom happy, and it's like, you know, what I'm doing is like helping people, so So Lily kind of put herself through it because she was like, it seems like I'm genuinely helping people. So, but obviously, you could only take so much. Hence why she ran away. Especially when you're a kid that young, it's probably surprising that, even more surprising that she put up with it for as long as she did, to be honest. Uh, okay, so they do state her name. So Lily is like 13. She looks way younger, by the way. So technically, she is older than Daniel is in the main game of Life is Strange 2. Because I believe Daniel's like, what, 10 or something in the main Life is Strange 2 story. So, so yeah, she's a little older. Um, and then obviously Lily pretty much confirming that she just wanted to help people. Um, but yeah. So we get a nice little reconciliation pretty much with Lily and her mom, which is sweet. And then Alex and Steph pretty much like spend the night at Lily's house with her mother pretty much. And Steph and Alex have a little reflective moment here. And then do we get one? No, we don't. Oh wait, do we? And yeah, we actually do. Okay. I was about to say. But yeah, after having a nice little reconciliation and pretty much Steph and Alex reflecting on everything that has happened so far, and Alex obviously letting out some emotions and stuff because we saw her like crying a little bit earlier. So, but in the end, Steph cheers her up, and then we get our third our third kissing scene. We can add that to the we can add that to the triune uh, background collection. So in any case, Steph and Alex are going to perform at Lily's like little school prom that she has going on. So in any event, they're going to meet up with her. And Lily gets made her made Steph and Alex little personalized handcrafted bracelets for both of them. So that's sweet. So in the meantime, they're gonna meet back up with Lily when it's time for prom and everything. They're gonna come back and do the performance there. So since they have a little ways to go for that, Steph and Alex decide to take a nice little stop in at Haven Springs and and say hi to everybody pretty much. And this is where we get our, and you gotta love the rainbow umbrella for them, by the way. And this is where we get our cameos for some of the True Colors supporting characters. So you could kind of tell from this wide shot some of them, but obviously we're gonna zoom in, and we get Ryan over here, and this new bartender at the Black Lantern. Uh, we find out in the next couple of panels that this is her name is Jordan, I believe. But more importantly, she is Ryan's girlfriend. So Zoe and Claudia were nice enough to give Ryan a girlfriend since oh excuse me excuse me again, a girlfriend since this comic is following the Steph and Alex relationship. So obviously Ryan didn't end up with Steph. Well, I mean, didn't end up with Alex here. So Zoe and Claudia were nice enough to be like, "Hey, Ryan's a really nice guy. Let's uh, give him a girlfriend of his own." So that's nice. And then we get a cameo from Charlotte, Ethan, and Eleanor. So that's nice. And then everyone is, you know, just palling around, eating, catching up, which is pretty sweet. I do like the little detail of Ethan here drawing one of his comic books with everybody around, so that's nice. And yes, thank you, Ryan, for confirming that your girlfriend's name is Jordan. I am happy I remembered. And a little update on Riley since Alex asked, and pretty much just giving an update of Riley is still, is still at college, and Mac pretty much left town. With considering where Mac's story goes, him leaving town is probably for the best for him anyway. So there you go with that. And meanwhile, everyone gets cheers, and then we get a nice little montage of Steph and Alex in Haven Springs hanging out with everybody, which is pretty cool. And Alex visiting Gabe's grave, and it's pretty nice. I can only assume that this is the foosball trophy bottle that they have leaning on Gabe's tombstone. That's a pretty sweet touch, if it is, by the way. And then, speaking of sweet touches, Steph and Alex sitting on the same chair and table that Alex and Gabe sat at. So a nice little full circle moment here. Obviously, instead of Gabe being on this side, we have Steph here. And we get some nice moment of reflection. And then we get a a nice little reference to the blue butterfly from the original game. So that's a pretty sweet reference there. Uh, and then after that nice little montage thing, we kind of get a do-over uh, that we kind of recapped earlier in the video of the end of True Colors, where everyone is at the bus stop area, seeing Alex and Steph leave town, and pretty much everyone gathers together to see them off. We pretty much have a repeat of that here, with the only differences being uh, that Ducky isn't here and Pike isn't here. Because if you noticed in the video earlier, in my playthrough, I pretty much got everyone that could show up during the goodbye scene to Steph and Alex. I pretty much got everybody that you can get to show up in that scene. So yeah, but the main important addition that the comic here does justice to is the fact that Ryan is actually here to say goodbye this time. So justice for justice for Ryan attained. So off Steph and Alex go to play at the little prom thing for Lily. So they play. Steph gets a little bit of an ego boost, since one of the kids wants her to sign her tuba. So at least that improves, Steph's ego, improves Steph's bruised ego a little bit. And then they have one last little interaction with Lily and her mother to pretty much say goodbye, since we're wrapping up the comic here. And then Steph and Alex holding hands while laying down on the grass, looking up at the stars. and them reflecting pretty much on everything that pretty much happened in the comic at this point. And then they reassure themselves, which pretty much ends with the fourth and final kiss of the comic, and them pretty much ending with a nice, sweet little ooh, excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. Seems to be my nose is still running. Ending with a nice little a little goodbye kiss to the audience, pretty much. And that was pretty much it. And here is the name of the band that Zoe and Claudia were thinking of calling Steph and Alex's band. Which, if you could see it, Manic Pixie Nightmare Girls instead of Manic Pixie Dream Girls. So, so it would have been a nice name. And pretty much a little description of what they were thinking behind the name and why they ultimately decided not to commit on giving their band an actual name. So that's sweet. And also nice designs and stuff for the bus, which was also something that I really loved to see was all the different designs and stuff that were on the bus, because both sides of the bus had different like designs on it. So you have like the D&D side with all the dice, and then you have like the other side that you could see down here with the music and the little record player and stuff, which is pretty cool because each side of the bus pretty much represents Steph and Alex's different like hobbies and interests and stuff. So that's pretty cool that they designed the bus that way. Because it's just like because they never focus on really showing off like the artwork that's on the bus. Like for the most part, you pretty much gather piecing together the artwork on the bus as you're seeing it in the background from panel to panel. But there's really no like real instance that kind of like really focuses on the artwork on the bus, pretty much. But them giving you like a full like layout of what the entire like art on the sides of each side of the bus is pretty sweet. So I certainly cannot complain about that. So with that, that is pretty much that done. So what we're gonna do right off the bat is rank these three characters, which is Lily, Lily's mom, and Lily herself. So first off, the easy one, Lily's dad. Immediately, Lily's dad we're gonna put at the towards the bottom of C tier because he was, uh, as we've seen and gone over, he's pretty much an asshole. So from treating, like, obviously his biggest crime is treating his daughter like a freak and not wanting to try and understand like what's going on with his daughter, because it's like, okay, she has these superpowers from a very, very young age. So instead of trying to help your daughter like figure out these powers and what to like do and not do with them and what she can and can't do with it, instead of trying to help her figure all that out, he just treats her as a fucking freak show. Is not great. So he immediately just jumps down. And then the fact that even though he has this big memory loss thing when they reunite, the fact that he's not just like, let's just get a DNA test to prove what you're telling me is the truth and call it a day. So the fact that he's also that thought doesn't even cross his mind is fucking uh really bad. So very easy placement for him. And then Lily's mother. I will put her. Uh, I'll put her. I'll put her like next to Alex and Gabe's mom. Slightly above Alex and Gabe's mom because at the very least, her, no matter how noble Alex's mom's intentions may have been, at the very least, Lily's mother is not forcing anything onto Lily that she doesn't want to do. Like I get Alex's mom was dying and stuff and pretty much kind of forcing the responsibility of being the peacemaker of the household between Gabe and their dad was not a great move, but when you're pretty much dying, I don't think uh her most rational of thinking was really in effect by that point. But yeah, that's pretty much why Lily's mom is pretty much ranked above uh, above Alex's mom. Pretty much in between what Drew and Mikey's dad and like Alex's mom. Also, as I said, the main thing that hurts her is she's not around a lot. The the only point in the story that Lily's mom is even in is just the final issue, and that's pretty much it. Like at the very least, she sets a very positive impression, but there isn't a lot of she's not around long enough to really cement herself really any higher at that point. And then we got Lily herself. So Lily herself, uh, we'll put Lily in. We'll put her in A tier, and I will put her pretty much next to Chris. So I'll put pretty much the two like kid characters next to each other, and mainly why she places here is um, I really like Lily's powers. Uh, there's definitely some fun like concepts and stuff that you can go with Lily's powers. So that is so that is a very big positive that I will 100% uh go with. But yet again, another reason why you know it that she also falls a little short in the A tier category uh is obviously the story that she's in. There's not a lot uh of the story because it's only a 4 issue mini series. If this was dragged out a little longer, maybe not as long as the Chloe and Max um, comics went. Maybe maybe like half that amount. Like maybe if there was enough story there for it to go for like maybe 1 or 2 more books, then to really try to get the most out of Lily's power, and like try to mess around with that and see what stories and stuff you could get out of it. Like I would have loved to seen that. Like a lot of room for potential was there. So um so look at what we have left. Ooh boy. Ooh, we definitely have a couple of things, uh, uh, a couple of really big heavy hitters left. Ooh boy. Um. Whew. So, what we're going to do is, since we're already past the 3 hour mark, what we're going to do is we're gonna call it here. So, we pretty much just went through the Forget Me Not comics, so that way we could rank Lily's parents and Lily herself accordingly, because we could just recap their specifically their scenes and pretty much assess like each character and stuff like that, and how each of their characters like measure up and stuff. So since we did that, that officially means that that we are done with all True Colors related characters. So any characters that have any relation to True Colors, uh, whether the whether the characters are connected uh, to the Forget Me Not comic or whatnot, all those characters are done. So they're all done. So what we have left is the different versions of Rachel, the different versions of Max and Chloe, and two very important characters to the main Max and Chloe comic book series. So we definitely have a very uh, big chunk of discussion that we're going to be able to dive into coming up. So definitely tune into that. In the meantime, I'm going to think of what character we're going to start with for the next part of the video. So, this has been JR here, and I will be signing out, and I will catch you all in the next one. Later.